Hey there movie fans, I'm John Andersen, and in continuing my series on the Spider-Man films leading up to the release of Spider-Man Homecoming this July, let's take a look at Sam Raimi's second film. Spider-Man 2 is arguably not only the best Spider-Man film, but one of the greatest comic book movies in general. The film picks up 2 years after the first, and we see Peter struggling to balance his personal life while also being Spider-Man, and starts to wonder if he truly wants or can do both. The reason this film works so well is because it's a character study first and a comic book movie second, a trait that I think is shared by many other great comic book movies. Peter gets beat up both figuratively and literally in the first act of the film, which may seem excessive at first, but it's because of this constant emotional battering that we're able to believe and sympathize with Peter when he decides to stop being Spider-Man, an aspect that Sam Raimi could have easily glossed over and would have made Peter seem more selfish and the decision unearned. The film also takes time to not only build upon pre-established characters from the previous film, but gives them compelling character arcs. We see Aunt May struggling to support herself after the death of Uncle Ben, and we see her go from a woman who hates Spider-Man to a believer in the hero, which is integral to Peter deciding to become Spider-Man again. We see Mary Jane start to succeed in her acting career and understand why she wants to distance herself from Peter. Again, because we spend so much time with these characters, we understand why she's so hurt by Peter's absence both in her show and in life, and why she would want to move on. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately her decision to stay with Peter, despite the danger that may occur, with the last shot of the film being very similar to the last shot of The Graduate, where there's happiness, but there's a slight hint of doubt and regret to the decision that the characters just made. We see Harry builds upon his hatred of Spider-Man, which affects his relationship with Peter and creates a lot of conflict for these two best friends, and builds to an ultimate tease of Harry turning into the other Green Goblin. Finally, we see more characterization to J. Jonah Jameson, who honestly probably doesn't need more characterization, given he's just the comedic relief.
You serious?
But really speaks to how good his character truly is. Which, speaking of comedy, this film has a lot of serious moments, but it still manages to find the time to have fun as well. Another compliment to the story's structure is that it's very much like a roller coaster ride in the best possible way, as it's able to shift from serious to fun seamlessly, earning each moment to the next. One of the only major additions to the cast is Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, who isn't at the forefront of the film, but is established well enough that he's not just a foil for Spider-Man. They are able to set up his intelligence and the true threat of the character with the extremely violent hospital scene that seems a little out of place, but gave Sam Raimi an excuse to revisit his roots with the Evil Dead franchise. And how can I mention Doc Ock without mentioning the train sequence, which is not only one of the best action sequences put to film, but ends with a very suspenseful stop the train element, which is still riveting to this day, despite Tobey Maguire's very memeable poop face. The only minor nitpick I have with the film is the fact that Peter loses and gains his powers because of a lack of focus. That always seemed convenient to me, but then again it is a great way to visually demonstrate his struggle as a hero. So Spider-Man 2 adds more depth to our main character, builds upon pre-existing characters, and manages to tell a relatable and compelling story, as well as a fun action-packed comic book film. And that's why it's a no-brainer for me that Spider-Man 2 is a really, really good movie. So those are my thoughts on Spider-Man 2. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to join me next month when we look at Spider-Man 3. And be sure to click over here to see my latest series review on Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. And click over here to see my latest reviews on the Lego Batman movie and John Wick Chapter 2. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my social media links down in the description below. Until next time, don't forget to watch the movies.